Oh, right, so this is going to be a bit of a short one. Not a lot of gameplay in here, but what I've been doing is trying to sort out the armour on my Imperial Cutter. Hence why I'm at Prospector's Rest. This is where the engineer Celine Jean is, and her specialist area is in armour and the bulkhead reinforcements. Now if I go into that, quick explanation of how the armour works. You'll notice that in your stats now you have all your shield and your armour well, all the various stats for those. And for me, the most important thing that it lists there is the resistance. If you have, let's use kinetic resistance for an example. So somebody's firing a kinetic weapon at you, so will you say the cannon, and your kinetic resistance in your shields is let's say minus 20%. That will mean that when the kinetic weapon hits your shields, it will do 120% of the damage that it's rated for. So although this isn't the cannon's actual damage rate, let's say its damage is 20. It hits your shield, it'll do 120% damage. So instead of 20, it will do 24. Now let's say you had some extremely good resistance in your shields to kinetic weapons, and you've got 50%, plus 50, not minus. So that then means that this kinetic weapon that will do 20 damage, 50% of that is absorbed by the shield, so it will only do 10. So that's how it works out. If it's if your resistance is in the plus, and you take that off the 100% damage rating. If it's in the minus, you add it on to the 100%, and that's how much damage you will take per hit of that weapon. Now obviously in some cases you get things like mines or the railgun. I don't know about missiles, I don't think they are, but they have a combination. Missiles are a combination of kinetic and explosive. Not missiles, mines are. The railgun is a combination of thermal and, I think it's thermal and kinetic. It might be thermal explosive, I'm pretty sure it's thermal and kinetic. That gets a little more complicated to try and work out. So anyway, I have been playing around with the armour. So I'll show you what I have. So I've got obviously the military grade composite on the bulkheads, and you will initially think that they're not that great because my explosive resistance with the modifications I've got blast resistant armour, grade 5. Obviously all of my mods now are done at the grade 5. I don't bother putting anything lower. So anyway, so my explosive resistance is plus 16.1, but my thermal resistance is not that great, minus 17.3, and my kinetic resistance is pretty terrible, minus 31.2. But I also have these two. These are in the new military compartments, so I have a 5D hull reinforcement package here. This one has the thermal resistance mod fitted to it. So this means that my kinetic resistance here is minus 7.6, thermal resistance is immense, plus 40.5, and explosive resistance of minus 8.6. And then this one here, this one has the kinetic resistant hull reinforcement, so kinetic resistance of plus 33.4, which is pretty good. But thermal resistance is lower, minus 7.6, and explosive resistance of minus 9.9. Now, all of these resistances given in percentages means that they don't stack up. So it is not as simple a case of if something gives you plus 10%, you know, this one gives you plus 10% on something, and then this second one gives you plus 10% on something. It doesn't mean you've then got plus 20%. It's not that straightforward, because otherwise you could then just fit 5 of these, or well, yeah, 5 of those, and you're guaranteed to have everything halved pretty much. So no, it's not that simple. And indeed, what I have got from all this is the following. So my armour health is 2,181. Sounds alright. I haven't got a fucking clue, to be honest, if that's good or not. Armour rating of 70 is the equal highest, obviously. The armour rating doesn't change. The Cutter and the Corvette both have 17. They are both the highest in the game. Even the Anaconda is lower, that's 65. But it's the resistances. So armour kinetic resistance is at 10.8%. So if a kinetic weapon hits me, it's only going to do 89.2% of the damage that it's rated for. So it is a reduction. That's okay. It doesn't have a weakness. Thermal resistance is pretty fucking impressive, 34.1%. So if a thermal weapon hits me, it's only going to do, as I try and work this one out, 65.9% of the damage it's rated for. That is pretty fucking good. And okay, I couldn't get everything into the positives. I do have a negative. Armour explosive resistance. I don't know why I stressed armour there, but yeah, the explosive resistance on there is minus 0.2. So okay, if you know, explosive weapon hits my armour, it will do extra damage. It will do 100.2% as opposed to 100. I can live with that. Especially as the military grade armour which I've got fitted without any mods, its explosive resistance is minus 40. So, you know, reducing it by 39.8, I'm quite okay with that. I would like to have it in the positives, but there you go. And the shield's resistance is even stronger. So kinetic resistance of 59.1, and that's the one that my shields are weakest against. Shield thermal resistance 59.2, so I mean only 0.1 of a difference between kinetic and thermal. And explosive resistance of 70.1, so if they are going to use explosive weapons against me while my shields are up, only 29.9% of the weapon's damage will actually affect my shields. That's not bad at all. And if I'm fighting, say, an NPC who has a habit of using like missiles, well, let's face it, explosive resistance is, you know, most frequently going to be used against missiles. There's a good chance they may have exhausted all of their missiles before my shields go down, and therefore they can't take advantage of getting the huge 0.2% additional damage against my armour. So I don't think they are doing too badly. Now, with regards to the actual mods, So we'll have a look, check at the armour first. So my blast resistant armour. So, and if I tried again, explosive resistance will almost certainly be worse than it is at the moment, and kinetic resistance has even more of a chance of being worse than it is at the moment. Thermal resistance could improve, but I don't need thermal resistance improving. I'm quite okay with what it is at the moment. It's the explosive resistance that I want to improve, admittedly only by 0.3. Anything more than that is handy. I just want it so that it's not in the minuses. With the reinforcements, so this one has the thermal resistance one. Where are you? Right, down here. So, I mean, the thermal resistance can be improved. In fact, they all can be improved. But again, it's not the thermal resistance I want the improvement on, and neither is it the kinetic. It's the explosive. I didn't realise there was such a scope there. I don't really want to be using all of my phase alloys at the moment. But so maybe if I got a better roll on the thermal resistant hull, or at least a better roll as far as the explosive resistance goes, I might get them all into the positives. With the second one, this is one with the kinetic resistance reinforcement. Now, as you can see here, I've not got a particularly good roll. Kinetic resistance could be improved by 8.1. Thermal resistance can be improved, but by such a small amount that it's not really worth it. And explosive resistance can also be improved by quite a margin. So much so, I am actually tempted to give that another stab. Yeah, I will. I'll give it one more go. Let me just double check. Kinetic resistance, that is what I've got on here, isn't it? Yep, kinetic resistance, grade 5. Well, fuck it, let's see what we get. If it's no good, I'll just discard it. Kinetic resistance is way down. What's about... Well, right, so it's been improved by 0.5, big fucking deal. Thermal resistance gone up again, but again that's not important. Explosive resistance is up again. It's only by a very small amount. Actually, I don't really like that one. I mean, let me just check. Kinetic resistance will go down to 2.47. What is my... Yeah, my kinetic resistance is only 10.8 at the moment. If I had a better roll on the kinetic resistance, fuck it, I'll try one more. Kinetic resistance is a lot better, thermal resistance is shit, and explosive resistance is shit. So I'm not getting a decent one here. No, explosive resistance will go down, yeah, so fuck it, that was a fucking waste. So, yeah, fuck off. Well, that looks like it's my best chance of getting everything in the positives, but I need more phase alloys. Well, they're quite easy to find. So anyway, that is what I'm doing. Now I suspect there are quite a few players out there who have got everything in the positives on the armour. And even more players who have everything in the positives on the shields. But I'm pretty sure shields are always going to be in the positives. I can't believe that, you know, shields are going to be weak against a particular weapon. So anyway, that is how my armour currently stacks. So I'm quite interested to see how it compares to any of yours, if you are willing to share what yours is. Obviously, as I say, I'll have another go with I've got to get some more phase alloys, and then I'll have another go at that, what fucking one was it? This one, yeah, right, the Kinetic resistant hull reinforcement grade 5. And if I can get them all into the positives as a result, then great. And obviously my kinetic and thermal resistances will both be lower, or at least I expect them both to be lower. Certainly the thermal will. I might get lucky and have a kinetic one that will be better, so that might go up. But my priority is to get the explosive resistance up. So anyway, that's how I'm doing on the shields and on the armour. So yeah, if I get a better roll, then I will be back. If not, then that's it. So go away. Right, so we are back. I've just had 3 more stabs at the kinetic resistant hull reinforcement. The first 2 were terrible, but thankfully the third was great, which is just as well, because I got my phase alloys back, as you can see, but now I'm fucking out of molybdenum, which, okay, is not the rarest material going, but it's not as easy to get as phase alloys. Nevertheless, I got a decent roll, as you may have noticed there from what was available. Not the best, but it does mean now that all 3 of my armour ratings are in the positives. So thermal resistance is at 34. That's still pretty good. I mean, it's not like the thermal resistance has gone down much. Kinetic resistance has shot up to 31.2. And explosive resistance, okay, it's not great, but it is in the positives at 1.2. So yeah, I will fucking take that. I'm more than happy with that one. So yeah, well there you go. That's the new outcome. As I say, if you feel like sharing yours, then please do. But there is something to add to that. You know, be realistic, be legit. You know, if you're one of these people who is going to try and insist that your shield health is in the 4000s and your, you know, each resistance is about 80% or something, then you know, screenshots. Otherwise the stench of bullshit is almost as overpowering as the stench of cabbage boiled in piss whenever I see a photo of Gabe Newell, and that's quite overpowering. So yeah, there you go. So that is definitely it for this video. I may as well give this new ship a try in a conflict zone or something, or head back to the alien ruins and have a stab at that mission, because yes, I have picked up the mission. Yeah, there it is. Doesn't tell you fuck all about what you're supposed to do, but I've got a pretty good idea of what I'm doing there. Oh yeah, since I'm here, yeah, my balance has now passed 1 billion. So I'm up to 1,017,907,346. That's not bad. Right, that's it. Now go away.